To the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family once again. First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Spiller, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the fam.
Hello. Welcome everyone to the Friday edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I don't know about you guys, but this week has been pretty long. It has been productive. It's been a great week, but it has been a long one. And I am at the end of that space where I know I need to plug in and recharge my battery. So thank you guys for being here. It's Focus Friday, one of the days that we repeat every single week because we believe in the importance of focus. Let's see, let's add a little light in here. Good morning, Mother. She said, good morning, fam. Thank you for joining. We are just getting started. I'm excited that I'm going to see you tomorrow. My mom's coming into town. So it's going to be not a very productive weekend at all. It's going to be hanging out and family and recharging the battery. So focused on family this weekend, which is exactly what I need because I am running low. How are you guys feeling? How's the energy level? How's the mindset? The beautiful thing is even when the energy level is low, if the mindset is right, you're still in a place of peace and joy, and you're just looking forward to what's coming next. That's where I am. I know I've got quite a few things to do this morning, and I'm looking forward to them and getting through them and on to my reward when they're in the rearview mirror. And that reward is a good old nap, some good food, some relaxation, hanging out with the fam this weekend, the family. And then on Sunday, we have our Black History Month celebration at church. It's been going on all month, but we actually have a program on this Sunday, and I'm a part of a dance ministry at my church. And so we will be dancing on Sunday. So that's why Mom's coming to check it out. Hello, Sean Michael. Good morning to you. He says, good morning, Cassandra Terry, Jay Pasquale, Brian Smart, and all. Good morning to you as well. Grand Rising. Happy new day. Glad to have you with us. So I am going to share our quote for the day. I really like this one. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new, by Socrates. A man who knew a thing or two about a thing or two, right? And what he had to say was the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. I love that. We talked about this. I had an audio room Wednesday night, and one of the things that we were talking about was focusing on your strengths and focusing on your strength in order to accelerate your path to success versus what we typically hear is about strengthening your weaknesses. Although that's something we want to do because we want to be ever growing, ever learning, ever evolving, that sort of thing. But if you put more energy into where you are already gifted, where you're already good, and you build on that talent, you build on that skill, you continue to expand and get better in that space, I believe that that's going to take you very, very far. And it's going to take you on a trip that you want to be on, because you want to focus your energy on where your gifting is. You want to align that gifting with your values. And if you're aligned with your values, you're doing things that mean something to you. Things where you've already placed a value and you see yourself at your best in that space. So if you're focusing more there, building more there, it just seems like an accelerated path. There are some things I could practice. I could take some voice lessons. I could get better, but I'm never going to be a great singer. Not my gifting, not my strength. But I'm sure if I had the right coach, they could teach me some things about breath work and how to breathe and how to hold the notes and when to breathe and where all the different notes fall on the scale. They could teach me a thing or two, right? I could get better than how I naturally am in that space. But because that's not my gifting, I couldn't see myself ever really flourishing in that space. So there are plenty of people who that's their gift. And if you have a gift and you take the time to pour into it and expand it and get better, just think how much better you would be at the thing that you're already good at. And if it's aligned with your goals, if it's something that you truly enjoy doing, then just that much the better. So that's what I wanted to talk about is we've said it a few times, where the focus goes, the energy flows, right? So if you're always focused on, I'm just not that good at this, I wish I was better at that, comparing yourself to everybody else. Well, Brian seems to be so good at this and I can only do it this well. Comparison is the thief of joy. So we spend our time focused on what we don't want or what we don't have, and it's just the opposite of what we need to do. Focus on what you do want. Focus on what you do have. Focus on your blessings. Focus on your abundance. Let go of what was and continue to build right now what is. We spend so much time reminiscing the past. When we were in it, we wanted to get out of it. And then when we get out of it, we bemoan the fact that things are different. It's hard to please a human. It's hard to please us. If we're short, we want to be tall. If we're tall, we want to be shorter. It is hard to please us. However, we can put a stop to all of that spinning and just make a decision on how we're going to focus our energy, how we're going to focus our time, how we're going to speak about ourselves. Do you speak life? Right? Focus on the words that you use. Focus heavily on the words that you use, because they're clues to what's going on the inside. When you hear negative language coming out of your mouth, be it about yourself or somebody else, it's time to take a step back and evaluate where that's coming from and why it is, and do some work to reframe it. Even when you're frustrated with somebody, you can find something about that person that you're good with. And in focusing on that, you can give yourself the opportunity to give a little space to the situation and reframe your thinking and show up in a way that's going to be beneficial to both of you. Change is difficult. Just by nature, we take a lot of comfort in sameness. I know what time I'm going to get up. I know what's going to happen at this time. The routine of it all gives us comfort. But there's nothing in our comfort zone that is going to move us to where it is that we want to be. Our success is right outside that comfort zone. That 3 feet from gold that we talk about all the time, that book, you were in your comfort zone when you were digging. You were still in there. And then all of a sudden you started to get hot and sweaty, and the thoughts start flowing through. I'm never going to find anything. I'm wasting my time. This isn't going to happen. Just as you were about to get uncomfortable, just when you were about to move into a different space and do something new, that old familiar voice called you back. Where are you going? It's safe over here. You know what's going to happen over here. You know who's here. You know this space well. You dominate in this space because you've been doing it for a long time. You have mastered this. Why would you leave me? And we fall for it. We go, you know what? You're right. Let me settle in. Let me get cozy again. This is where I'm winning. This is what I know. But that big blessing, that acceleration that you've been waiting for, is right on the other side. It's that next. You have to keep shoveling. You have to keep going. If you land in your comfort zone and that's where you stay, my prayer for you is that you really, really enjoy it there and that you're not looking for anything beyond that space. We get to a point to where, I'm getting up there in age. So eventually I assume that I'm going to get to a point to where I just want to be comfortable and I just want to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I'm not there yet. I'm still really building and wanting to accomplish things and set some things up for the generations to come. My mind is still in that space. And in order for me to do that, I have to dance with the uncomfortable. I have to. If I only dance with the partner that I've always danced with, I can only have what I've always had. But if I want something different, I have to be willing to do something different. And I've got to change dance partners. I've got to step outside. Or maybe I just change the music. Maybe I do want to stay with my same partner. But if we've been doing the waltz for forever, it's time to bebop. It's time to do something different. Put some more energy into it. Try something different so that I can have something different. That's for all of us. How comfortable are you in your current situation? Where are you least comfortable? And what are you willing to do about it? Once you know what you want, now you've got to be willing to build the plan, focus on what it's going to take for you to have that, and one step at a time, one choice at a time, move towards what it is that you desire. It's in you. You have the ability to have exactly what it is that you want. But in order for that to happen, you have to step outside of that comfort zone. Focus your energy on building the new and not holding on to and romanticizing what was. The past is the past, it's gone. What's happening right now? And how can you tap into what's happening right now to move you closer to the goals that you have set for yourself? Ask yourself that question, answer that question honestly, and then get busy doing that. And when it gets uncomfortable, know that instead of tucking back and running to what's safe, realize that you're getting closer. And that discomfort is telling you, oh, we're seeing some new stuff. We're experiencing some new things. We're being stretched. We're growing. Growing hurts. Have you ever seen a teenager going through growth spurts? Their knees hurt. It's uncomfortable. Think about that baby for 9 months. That when they get too uncomfortable, they run out of space. They're like, here I come. I'm out of here. The cocoon. We see the butterfly when we talk about transformation all the time. Imagine as that butterfly was growing and how uncomfortable it was in that space until it breaks out. If you don't break out of the space, you start to die. You stop growing. And we don't want that. While we're living, we want to keep living. We want to keep enjoying the life that we've been blessed with. So let go of what was. Take the lessons from what was and bring that into what's now. Use those lessons, integrate what you've learned from the past into your existence today, and then move forward. Keep stepping outside of that comfort zone towards the goals that you have set for yourself. And if you focus on them and if you are committed to building the new, you'll get there much faster than you think you will. One decision at a time, one step at a time, you'll get there. Let's see. Uh, my mom said, great quote. Kia says, good morning, Grand Rising Queen. Good to see you back with us. Sean Michael said, I heard a great quote yesterday. As long as you only do what you can, you will always be the same. Yeah. Got to stretch out. You have to stretch beyond what you think you can. Because right outside, if you can do 5 push-ups, you can do 6. And in doing that 6th one, not only do you push your body, not only do you push your muscles, but you change your mind. You've shown yourself that you're capable of doing more than what you thought you were. Now all of a sudden you're wondering when you can get to 10. I never thought I'd be able to do 6. Maybe I can do 10. You literally energize yourself and open up the mind and give yourself hope that wasn't there before. When we think we've maxed out and we do one more, we completely obliterate our own limiting beliefs and show ourselves that there's more in us than what we believed. Love that quote. Thank you, Sean Michael. Let's see. Aromatic visions. My mom said, let go and let God. Say it, Cassandra K. Terry. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And then she says, LOL, Jay is funny. So I don't know what you did, Jay, but she's laughing. Sonia, good morning, Fam 5. Hey, Sonia, great to have you back with us as always. So I've said a lot already. So, Brian, how is your audio? Are you in a place where you can share?
You guys
Let
are
me mute
cracking
mine.
up a little bit. I don't know if it's me or you. Is there feedback on my end right now? Good to go. Fantastic. I'm hearing what you're talking about this morning, and all I keep thinking about, and I know you didn't do this on purpose, is pruning and preparation. I know you didn't do it on purpose, but the 4 P's keep coming back to me, right? When we start to think about this thing that Socrates talked about, right? Focusing all your energy on fighting the old instead of building the new. That's what pruning is. Pruning is taking those things away that no longer serve you, getting rid of all of that stuff, right? Getting rid of that baggage. And a lot of people, a lot of the times, we as humans think that that's physical, and it's not necessarily physical. Most of the time, in fact, it's something that is either spiritual or something that's mental. So when you think about pruning, think about removing those thoughts. Think about removing those feelings, those attachments that you've become so comfortable with, right? That's what Socrates was talking about when he said, stop focusing on the old and build the new. Whatever it is, we talked about this yesterday. If a storm comes through and it wrecks everything, instead of focusing on what you lost, focus on what you still have and what you can do with that. That's what that for me, that's what focus is, right? Focus is focusing on right now. The time that we're living in, it's already the past, right? That's over with. You have to constantly be moving forward. You can't get stuck in the past. That's what focus is. Focus is staying diligent toward that objective, but you have to have an objective first. If you don't, then it's real easy to drift back into those old ways of thinking and doing. And before you know it, you're not building the new, you're fighting the old. That's all I had to share this morning. You got me with the 4 P's, Cassandra.
That's great. So let me explain the 4 P's. So I think most of you guys are around on a regular basis, so you've heard it. But let me just walk you guys through what the 4 P's are, since Brian queued it up so nicely for me. Thank you for the lob. I caught it. So 4 P's to personal development and growth. That was one of those divine downloads that I had. It's been a few months now, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I was just waking up, and in that stage right before you're really conscious, you're kind of in between those two states, and everything's peaceful and quiet. And I guess I was coming out of a dream, and there was something that I saw, and I just had this thought of, well, yeah, sometimes you have to get rid of the old, like in my garden, I have to get rid of the old stuff to prepare for the new. And in that moment, pruning came to mind. And I was like, yeah, we're just like that garden. We have to be pruned. We have to let go of old habits, old way of thinking, old, sometimes relationships, sometimes the environment has to change, but we have to be willing to assess our lives and take a good, honest look at what's working and what's not, and the things that don't serve us, the things that don't serve who we are today, we have to let go of. And it's not an easy thing, because the old is familiar, the old is comfortable, but the old will keep you from growing. It will keep you stagnant and stuck if you aren't willing to prune. And after you prune and you get rid of what's no longer serving you, you prepare. That's the second P. And in preparing, you're filling in where you've made room for growth, made room for something new, now you're starting to plant those new seeds, new habits, new thoughts, new ways of processing, new environment, new people, new classes, getting new skills, whatever it is that you've taken away. You need to refill now with the things that will move you forward, the things that are going to support who you are now and the life that you're working to build. And after you've pruned and you've been prepared, now comes a very difficult stage, and that's pace. In the pace stage, it feels like nothing's happening. It feels like, I've done all this hard work. I've changed my behaviors. I've taken the class, or I've gone to therapy. I've worked with this coach. I've got my mental together. I'm doing all the things and nothing is changing. But really below the surface, the roots have formed, and they're getting deeper and deeper, and that plant is getting stronger in order to support not only who you are today, but the weight of who you are to become. Right? As we evolve, we require more things. We require more of everything in different ways. And we need those roots to grow deep so that we can withstand that change. And as the new opportunities come, we don't squander them because we're ready for it. A lot of times we want that instant gratification, but we don't have the skills yet to handle that very blessing that we're praying for, right? If I am by my nature or by the upbringing that I had an angry person, and as soon as someone says something that I don't agree with, I lash out. But at the same time, I'm lonely and I want to be in relationship. I want a husband. But every time I start to date somebody, it's great for a few minutes. And then as soon as they say something I don't like, as soon as the honeymoon period's over with, I lash out and they start to see that part of my personality and they run. I push them away. As much as I want to be in relationship, I'm not ready. Maybe I've started going to therapy because I lost that last relationship and it was one I was really excited about. So I start to go to anger management classes, and I've gotten my certificate. I've finished my however many weeks of class, and I've got some new skills. When I start to feel myself get angry, I take some deep breaths and I say some affirmations and I tell myself, this is how I'm going to handle this going forward. But all I have right now really is the paper, right? I haven't had the opportunity to really practice those skills. And so I go back when I get stressful to my default behavior. What the pace period is doing is allowing the new behavior, the things that you learned when you got that certificate, whatever it is, it's giving you time for those behaviors to become your new default. But it takes time. If I jump right into a relationship because I've got the paper, as soon as I get frustrated, I might be able in the beginning to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and kind of temper myself. But because I'm so new in that skill, it's likely that I'll get to lashing out again if I get frustrated enough, if I get stressed enough. In pace, though, I get a chance to work on myself and really work on those skills and integrate those skills so that not feeling the anger and having to think through, I'm gonna do these exercises, I'm gonna take some deep breaths, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. No, it becomes the thing that you actually just do. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to talk yourself into it. The deep breathing becomes the natural response. Now you've integrated that into your life and it becomes the default behavior. It replaces the screaming, the yelling, the lashing out, whatever that old behavior is, you've really pruned it away. You've prepared yourself by taking the class, and now you've paced yourself and did the work so that it's truly integrated in to who you are, right? And as that happens, and the integration happens, and the default behavior is now the new learned behavior, not the old, now you're ready for that last P, which is propel. When you are propelled, it's when everything's working together. The old is gone, the new's there, it's integrated in your life, and that opportunity shows up again. And now you are ready to master it. You're ready to take full advantage of it. You won't squander it this time because you've learned and you've truly integrated the changes. So now when that next relationship comes, they meet the you that has been paced, that has learned those new skills and is living from that point of view now, not from the old. You've healed yourself. You've gone through a healing process and allowed it to actually heal. What did David say? We have to heal ourselves and be happy with who we are first. That's it. That's it. Once you've done that, now you are ready to show up fully in a relationship and manage it well, manage yourself well, honor your partner well, and create something new that the two of you, neither of you had before you came together. The whole can be better than the sum of its parts. When two whole people come together, it doesn't equal two, it equals three and beyond because you create something new in that collaboration that neither of you had without the other. And that's a beautiful relationship. And in order for us to grow to those levels and to be able to be in relationship like that and to be able to take advantage of any opportunities that come our way, those 4 P's will support you through it every single time. And knowing where you are in that process is so important because sometimes you get really frustrated. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And it's all going on underneath the surface. The roots are getting deeper and deeper. You're getting nourished. You're getting stronger. And then all of a sudden, boom, you see a little, if you guys are gardeners, there's nothing more exciting than seeing that first little green poke up. They all look the same in the beginning. Just this little green stuff poking up out of that dark, rich soil, right? And you're like, oh, if you didn't label what you planted, you can forget what it is because all the plants look pretty much the same in the beginning. And then all of a sudden they start to get taller. They start to the bud open up and bloom. And now over here you have flowers. Over here maybe you have cantaloupe. Over there you've got some vegetables. The garden is blooming where it seemed like nothing was going on. But all the real work happened beneath the surface to support that new life that was coming forth. That's what your pace period is doing. The work is happening beneath the surface to support the new you and the life that the new you is going to experience. So I know it took a long time to go through it, but it's the 4 P's: prune, prepare, pace, and propel. That final P, when things flow through, when you have integrated those new behaviors, when the things that you're working towards start to come into fruition, you start to see the fruits of your labor. That's the final stage. That's when life is so sweet because you know that your working wasn't in vain. You start to see your efforts yield what it is that you were working for in the first place. That's the pace period of the propel period that we're all wanted. That's where we love to be. That's where we love to be. And but we get there if we are willing to go through. And the reason it's important to name those different aspects of growth is because sometimes you don't realize it's like, oh my God, it feels like everything's falling away. I'm just losing this and I'm losing that. And you can think, oh, I'm being pruned. And then all of a sudden it makes sense. As humans, we like for things to make sense. We like to have our whys answered and understand what's going on. When you're losing, you're being pruned. It feels like I'm in school all over again. I'm learning this and I'm learning that, and all this stuff is coming at me. You're being prepared for what's next. Oh my goodness, nothing is happening. I've worked so hard and I'm just stuck. It feels like it was all for nothing. You're being paced. This is your opportunity to put what you learned into practice so that it serves you down the road. And then the spot where nobody complains. Oh my God, I can't believe it finally happened. I graduated. I'm married. I got the house. I have the dream job. You have been propelled into your destiny, into your prayers being answered, into your goals being met. That's the process, guys. And it repeats itself over and over and over again. And in knowing that, you can prepare yourself to manage the stage that you're in, to understand the stage that you're in, so that you don't become so frustrated with that particular stage and you can get the most out of it. When you realize that you're being pruned, you can look at it differently. Go, okay, what else is going on in my life that maybe I should take a look at. Maybe I should alter. Maybe I should get rid of. Oh, I'm in that prepare stage. Something's going on. I'm learning. I've just started a new job. I've got to learn all the skills. I have to learn the jargon. Every job you go to, they speak a different language, right? Acronyms all over the place. I need to learn the environment that I'm in. So you realize that that's what's going on. So you are better integrated in the space that's happening and not so frustrated. Pace is hard, prune is hard. They're both of those are hard because when one you feel like you're losing, and in the other you feel like nothing's happening. But in realizing that that's where you are, you can manage your emotions better and understand that in every one of those stages, something good is happening for you, to you, through you, in order to get you to the life that you so desire. So, Brian, thank you for setting that up. I had not intended to talk about pace today, but it was right on there.
I'm so glad you did. You got me energized and ready for all of this crap I got to deal with today. You know, Fridays are always the toughest spot. It's like everything slides to the end of the week. So Friday come and if you haven't done everything, you want to get that finished. And you have to have that 4P mindset in place. You just said it a few minutes ago. As humans, we want to make it all make sense. That's what those 4Ps do. It makes it make sense for you. It gives you a little bit of insight into what's happening so that you can deal with it a little bit better, right? So that you can manage the catastrophes that come your way, so that you know how to mitigate and contain your enthusiasm when things are going your way, right? I love those 4Ps, Cassandra. You got no idea. I needed to hear that this morning. Thank you. We lost Jay. I don't know what happened to Jay.
Mm,
He might come back. But he missed that sermon on the 4Ps. I'm so glad that was recorded.
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we lost him a little bit ago. But the technical difficulties are what they are, but that's okay. I think we've had a nice, rich conversation already. There's a lot of comments for us to take a look at. If he does make it back, we will hear what he has to share. If not, we're going to go ahead and put a bow on this week and get ready for the weekend and do it all again next week. So let's see, Asharia, I really need you to be live one day in one of our rooms so I can hear your name pronounced correctly, because I feel so bad every time because I think I'm saying it wrong. But she said, "Good day to dear Cassandra, Terry, and respect it all." When you were speaking, Brian, my mom said, "Say it, Brian," and she gave you the hand hearts. Asharia says, "I think being open to new possibilities is what helps to fight old patterns." Absolutely, absolutely. And she also says, "Sometimes the old stuff is are a little difficult as we are designed by birth, but being dynamic is a real blessing in life." I love that. Yeah, we are designed to go towards the familiar, right? There's safety in the familiar. But when we want to do something and have something different, we have to be willing to venture out. Let's see. I don't know who LinkedIn user. Oh, yes, I do. It's Soyika. So yes, and we get to make those changes to make room for the new Soyika. Exactly. In making those changes, that's what you're doing. So don't see it as a loss. See it as preparing for a win, right? When you're being pruned, you're not losing something, you're making space to gain something. David Jones, hey David. He said, "Great share and being open." Asharia says, "Any change takes time." Absolutely. David says, "We have to heal ourselves and be happy with who we are first." Absolutely. Asharia says, "It's our monkey mind. We need to stay on track to change and embrace new ideas in life." Absolutely. David says, "Yes and yes. Tell them." Hello, TC. Good to see you with us. David also says, "Growth is always hard, but worth it." Thank you for adding the "but worth it," because I know I said it was hard, but I don't know if I actually said the words, "but worth it." Growth is difficult, but it's worth it. There's a new you on the other side. There's new opportunities, there's new potential. It opens up you for any and every possibility when your mind sees it that way. So thank you for adding the "but worth it" to it. Important, add. Asharia says, great insights learning 4Ps. Thank you. I'm glad the 4Ps resonated with you. I literally feel that that was given to me as a divine gift. And because of that, I try to share it as much as I absolutely can. Jay made it back. Um, my mom says, good show, fam. And then I wanted to recognize some folks who joined us from Instagram as well. I see Caramel Cutie, Johnny Bush, a friend from way, way, way back in the day. How you doing, Johnny? If you're still there, great to just see your name. Patrick Mutali, welcome, welcome, welcome. I think that's one of my baby girls. Is that you, Bree? Bree is one of my daughter's bestest friends. So it's always nice to have the young folks to join us as well. And one of my besties, Trina Gilden. I think that's her husband, Charles. Hey, Charles, good to see you. Hope you're feeling better and you're back in town. So good to see everybody. Thanks for joining, Jay. It is good to have you back. I would love you. You missed the 4Ps. Brian set it up nicely for me. So I took everybody through the 4Ps, and we talked about the development, the growth and development that the 4Ps are taking us through. So now that you're back and we can see your lovely face, go ahead and share with us what's on your heart.
Well, first, definitely the two things that have been on my mind as regards to the 4Ps is pacing and pruning.
Mm, those are the
Yep.
two we talked about the most.
I think
The hard ones.
because, yeah, that's exactly right. It's the hard ones. Yeah, that's because you were saying 3 feet from gold. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It's that pacing. And if you are an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or anypreneur, right? It, sometimes it takes a minute before you actually break even. And definitely I understand what that's like. And I think a lot of us do. You know, even if you are in an employee in corporate America or any corporation, right? Sometimes you're waiting for that next step, right? You're waiting for that promotion or that little bit of extra money that you're going to see as a bonus or as part of that promotion. So it's going to be minutes sometimes. And
Mm-hmm.
pacing, if you're not ready for it, right? If you don't prepare yourself, that's my P. If you, if you don't prepare for it, if you don't plan for it, right, then you're just going to think, oh, this is it. I'm never going to get it right. Like you were saying, but you're 3 feet from goal. Keep going. Keep persevering. That's another P.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's what
Mm-hmm.
comes to mind for me. And that pruning, there are going to be detractors. There are going to be people that are going to say, man, you're never going to get that promotion. Man, your business is not. What do you mean storytelling strategist? What the heck does that mean? Nah, that's not a thing. Okay. All right. Let me show you. Let me show
Mm-hmm.
you. And so I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. And despite internet issues, I'm going to stay focused and come back
You're
in the
still here.
room and I'm
Yep.
still going to do what I got to do. And before I leave, I got to talk about what's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about, to me, I think it's going to be the second book of Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 7. But you take courage. Do not let your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Don't put that pickaxe down yet. You're almost there. It's really so the verses from the Old Testament, right, where the Israelites were faced with challenges and adversities, but in this passage, the king of Judah is being encouraged to take courage and not lose heart in the face of opposition or difficulties. And for us believers, when we talk about the opposition or the adversary, we know who we're talking about. But if everything seems daunting, everything seems insurmountable, that internet issue isn't going away and you're fumbling through your phone and that's not working either, don't lose focus. Don't be discouraged. Persevere. Stay in that determination, knowing that your efforts will eventually be rewarded. So at the end of this verse, it's really a reminder for us who are believers to maintain that faith and resolve in the pursuit of your goals and your responsibilities. And it's really trusting that perseverance and focus will lead to eventual success and fulfillment. Don't give up. Keep going. I thought I'd share that with you.
I am so glad you brought your own P with you today, your perseverance, because that was golden. And it was so on point. It didn't seem like you missed any of the conversation leading up to this because of the divine alignment, because of what we pray for before we start the show every day. So I am so glad. There's another P for you guys. The bonus P, perseverance. And I think he threw planning in there as well. So we can have fun with the P's. The four P's are the core, but there will always be other things that you can build on a good foundation. So we're adding planning and perseverance today. Thanks to Jay. And what you yeah, it was just what the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake. Asharia says, I could feel your energy too, dear Cassandra Terry. My mom got excited when you popped back in. Let's go, Jay, with a bunch of hearts. And Asharia also says, thank you, dear all, and great conversations. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Nope, I think we're good. So we've done it, guys. We have made it through. She says, say it, Jay. This is my mom. Be ye steadfast, unmoving, and always abounding in the works of the Lord. That's one of my favorite songs. I love that. So thank you for adding that as well, Mother. We have had a rich conversation. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've got a little bit more energy than when I started. You guys have poured into me. You have lifted me up. You have encouraged and excited me, and I am fueled and ready to tackle what is left of this Friday so that I can slide into my weekend and really recharge my battery. And I hope that you do the same. Self care is so important. So let's wrap up the week strong. Let's focus on the things that we planned for the week that we hadn't quite completed yet and go ahead and knock those out so that you can walk away from this Friday feeling productive, feeling accomplished, feeling good about yourself, and ready to shut it down, to relax, to enjoy the weekend, friends, family. Maybe you like solitude. I know I do from time to time. Whatever you need to recharge your battery, do it. Go do more of that because you deserve it. I think one more comment came in. Oh, my mom says you better have energy, Cassandra. Moms never stop momming. I just have what I have. Sometimes I got a little bit of energy. Sometimes I got a whole lot of energy. Today I had a little bit, but I've got even more. Uh-oh. Jay already has his pillow out. It is time. It is time to recharge. I'm right there with you. I've got a blanket right off screen, so I'm going to cuddle under and do my work from a very comfortable position. So blessings to all of you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. We did not mention, even though we talked about the four P's, you can learn so much more about that and really dig into it by taking our SOAR assessment, the iwanttosoar.com. It has questions, not really questions, more statements than questions that you evaluate how close, how true or not they are for your current state in life. And how you answer those questions will give you feedback. It will give you an assessment of where you are along that journey, your personal development journey. And it also comes with 15 minutes of us getting together, you and I, and just really talking about personally your assessment and how you can use that to fuel you towards accomplishing the life that you desire. So there's no charge. iwanttosoar.com gives you the assessment and the meeting with me. And then we can decide from there what's in your best interest to do next. So iwanttosoar.com. You guys complete that assessment. And don't forget to schedule the appointment. I see the assessments coming in. A few of you have scheduled, but a lot of you haven't. You know, the information, I know you can read and I know you can process what you're reading, but it's always good to have another set of eyes and somebody who's going to be coming at it objectively. I haven't walked your walk, but I can see what the results of your walk are to this point by how you answer those questions. And I can give you some insight that may shift your focus, change your mindset just enough to get you on the path that you want, or to accelerate if you're already on that path. So let's work together after you've done your assessment and have that conversation. So iwanttosoar.com. I look forward to seeing your assessments come through and us getting together in the coming days to discuss it. I think all of our business is done for today and for the week.
Thank you for joining us for this episode.
So remember
of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show.
The secret of change is to
join us
focus
tomorrow
all of your energy
for another
not
episode.
on fighting the old, but
For
on building the
advertising
new.
or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra or any one of the Fam 5 on their LinkedIn profiles. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.